Hello and welcome to week 39. It's a bit late coming out, so apologies for that. Basically, I was really busy for a while and then I was not too well, so I've fallen behind getting my wildlife year videos out. But over the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping to have caught up. So yes, welcome to week 39, 3/4 of the way through the year. Can you believe it? It's, yes, so excited to have made the 3/4 way mark, even if I'm slightly late in getting the video out. So this was actually a really busy week for me. I think it was 4 bat walks I did, 2 for an organisation that sort of gets me to lead bat walks for them, 1 for a friend for Herbert Brownie and Guides, and 1 just for some friends of mine. And on top of that, I also did an Instagram live. Last week I did a Facebook live bat walk. This time I actually did an Instagram live where I was actually just showing people around. I did actually include some bats in it, of course, but I was just showing some folk around on Instagram, what I do, and some of the bits and pieces around in my workshop and my office. So probably include a wee bit of that later on in the video as well. So yes, so I'm really pleased with the way this week's gone, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So let's get on with my wildlife here, week 39.
There's a nice thrush just flown up into that bush, and there's our blackbird also eating berries from that bush. Thrush is in there. I don't know whether you can see it moving about. Yeah, you can just see it through. In there. There its head is. Eating away at the berries. It's really nice to see. So that was 2 of the thrush family, song thrush and also a blackbird. I'm just over at one of my wife's churches, and somewhere up there under the eaves must be a bat roost, because look at all the droppings in this door. See them all? There's a few down there as well. So I'm guessing it's underneath that guttering in this slates. Hi, I'm here at Westburn Woods in Edinburgh, south-west side of Edinburgh, and that's the woods there, and I'm here to lead this bat walk. So just a few minutes the bat walk will start, so hopefully people will be starting to arrive soon. So I'm just heading back to the car to get all my equipment. I was just having a scout around because this is a new site for me. I've never done a bat walk here before, so hopefully it's going to go okay. Well, bat walk's just finished, and I cannot believe it. That's not one bat. Not one bat at all. It's just it's a wee bit chilly tonight compared to the last few nights, but really, I would have expected some activity. It's a really silly, and it's actually it's got a wee bit milder as the evening's been on. So yeah, a bit annoying, but people did see a bat, even if it was a dead one. So anyway, I'll hopefully my bat walks later this week will turn up some more. Just on my way back from opening up the hens and feeding them, and just look at that lovely common garden snail. That is gorgeous. Try to see whether that's actually a bit of poo there. It is. Lovely. Go and wash my hands now. So just make sure, yep, I'm not squashing it. Shut the gate. Come here, you. The other thing is, it's sort of like you actually normally, you can sometimes, if the bats
Yes, they are really nicely healed up, our wings. So that's actually really good news. So there's no reason why this little one should not be flying. So she's not happy at all, but you can see she's not very big. So I'm going to pop her. She's starting to flap a bit. I don't want her, if she is going to fly, I don't want her flying around my office. Much to my wife's, I'll take this off now, much to my wife's sort of, not disgust, she's not disgusted, it's just, she's just more perturbed that I let bats fly around the living room, and I've actually started using the dining room now. So yes, so she's still not flying, but I want to give her when she does a test flight, a couple of test flights, and if she actually flies, then she will be taken back to her release site in Selkirk. So yeah, I actually kind of get into wildlife rehab by accident. I'd had some training years ago with the Scottish Wildlife Trust, sort of basic wildlife first aid, and unfortunately, I don't know whether you can hear, she's actually banging on the, I think she's wanting some mealworms, she's actually banging on the box, so she's just put the kitchen roll, hold on, she's just put the kitchen roll in the wee milk tub of water, and that. So yes, so she's I got taught how to do it, and it's not very nice, but basically it wasn't just about sort of first aid, it was also how to, if an animal was really in a bad way, how to actually deal with it and put out its misery in the most humane manner possible. So I did that, and then over the years I kind of got into known as a person who sort of like, you know, was a wildlife person, and to take wildlife to, and then I also started finding wildlife just wherever I went. I would find in the local village hall had a bat roost in it, and that was sort of like, you know, fair enough, it was my local village hall, I'm into bats anyway, and you know, the bats would get stuck in the village hall. But one day I literally went outside my front door and I turned round and there was a bat hanging right next to the front door. The wildlife was actually coming to me. Another time I went out the front door and there was a hedgehog that was quite poorly at the front door. They just sort of kept turning up. But now I've moved. Before I used to live in quite a remote area, sort of a mile and a half from the local village. There's a few houses in a row, but occasionally people would turn up with not always live animals, but occasionally dead animals for me, or poo. That was the other thing. My wife never knew what she was opening the door to. And my wife's now a minister. She got her first charge 3 years ago. We moved to this lovely village, metropolis compared to where we were before, and I've got known as the sort of person to go to. So it's not just sort of like local people, it's this local school as well. Back in May I did 2 wildlife rescues in the same week. I actually did included it in my wildlife year, and actually did a few weeks ago did a special My Wildlife Year video on sort of like special wildlife rescue. When I think it was a blue tit, if I remember right, that probably collided with a window, and also a oyster catcher chick which had fallen off the roof. That actually involved me climbing back up onto the roof, and as I don't like heights, that was quite an experience. But yes, so there's that's kind of now just the door goes, and I just never know what's going to be there. The other week there was the doorbell rang at 11 o'clock at night, and my wife being a minister, first thing that goes through her head is someone needs the minister, someone's ill or has passed away and needs to they need the local minister. My wife opened the door and then just turned and shouted, "Graeme, it's for you," as it was someone standing there with a shoebox with some holes in the top for air. So it was a wood pigeon. Unfortunately, that one, it's basically severe damage to his wing. It's never going to fly, and it was just, I had to just do what I had to do, unfortunately, for it. But at least it was, you know, out of pain. Don't know whether you can see that there. There's a badger running up the roads. There, it's going into the thing, right, into the field. Can you see that just there? That is a forked palped harvestman. It's thought to have come over, well, it was first recorded in the 1950s. It's thought to be a a Mediterranean species, but it's made its home here, and you can see it's quite flat. I don't know whether you can make out where it gets its name from. Hold on a second. I've popped on my trusty clip-on microscope in here. You can see why it's called forked palped harvestman. And the harvestman is an arachnid. It's got 8 legs, but it's not a spider because its body, as you can see here, is all one part, head and body. Spiders have 2 parts. They have an abdomen and a thorax with a waist in between. Harvestmen don't have waists.
Here at Redford Community Woodland in Collinson in Edinburgh, and as you can see behind me, and there's the community woodland there, and just here to lead a bat walk this evening. So here a bit early, so I'm just going to have a wee wander around and work out where I'm going this evening. So this is my 4th bat walk in 6 nights, and I've got one tomorrow night and the night after, so I'll be doing 6 and 8 nights, so a bit busy. I'm told I've done a bat walk at this wood before, and it does seem vaguely familiar where I parked, but I can't really remember it. So what I'm doing is I'm just having a walk round, just planning where I reckon there'll be some good bat activity. Sort of, you know, where it's not too. This bit here, for instance, although it's actually quite enclosed, it's also sort of over canopy wise, it's actually quite wide and clear underneath. So there's a good chance maybe some pipistrelles be under here, especially if it gets, well, it's supposed to rain, but in case it gets a wee bit wet, that might be a good place to come for some pipistrelle action. So yes, so it's just all about planning where to walk and where you think the best bits for seeing bats are. Of course, the bats don't always turn up in the places you think are best for them. Just squirrel through there, I don't know whether you can see it. It's on top of that log. We're going to there. It's a grey, obviously. I'm in Edinburgh. You can just see it sitting in the middle of the frame now. I actually it climbed down that tree right next to me and went over there. There it's running through there. Because I actually have my phone out to show this. Yeah, there we focus in. Common spangled gull, and I think there's also some sort of, I think it's a pea gull right in the centre of the leaf, in the sort of main vein going down. You can just see it, but all the rest I think are all common spangled gull. Quite a common one, as its name suggests, on oaks. I'm hoping for more bat activity than got on Monday night, but I think we'll get it. It's not quite as chilly tonight as it was the other night. Habitats, oh, it's good habitat. Mind you, it was good habitat the other day, so we'll just see how it goes. Right. Well, our bat duck has not happened. There is a bat there, which is good, because I was a bit worried having right round the woods and we're nearly back at where we started. Fab. Right, well, bats were out and here's a nice caddisfly. That's really just on the top of my car. Look. Came back to find it there, so it'll soon be going once I head home. I'm at one of my wife's churches and come up here and there's quite a few. There's a lot of dead flies and there's a few dead small tortoiseshell, but you see down there, that's a dead pipistrelle bat. So I'm going to have to get it out. That's, my wife's got 5 churches and 3 of them have found dead bats in this year, which isn't good. Dead bats sometimes get stuck in big buildings like this and they can't get out.
I mentioned that one of the bat walks I did was from a friend. That was for Greer that I went to college with, and she's a brownie and guide leader, and I came along, went along to Calder Glen Country Park with my bat detectors and talked to the guides and the brownies about bats, and they seemed to really enjoy it. Not so very many, but they really enjoyed finding out about bats.
Up in Calder Glen, as you can hear, I've got some brownies and guides with me. My bat walk in Calder Glen Country Park, so hopefully we'll get to see some bats. Well, we managed to get one bat flying through, which caused a great amount of excitement. I've still got my detector in, hopefully see one again. The brownies and guides are just about to get picked up, but hopefully we'll see one right before they get dropped off, get picked up. Out with the bat detectors, leading a wee bat walk for some friends and hoping to see, it's a bit wet but it's actually, it's cleared up, so I'm a bit damp, but hopefully there'll be some bats showing up fairly soon. Well, it's a brown pipistrelle's just flown through, but I'm hoping it's going to stick around and I'll get some. I think my camera had steamed up. Hopefully it'll show up again in a second. Yeah. Yeah, there it is there. What?
Oh, right here above my head. That's fantastic.
Right, did you hear that little buzz there? Sounds like an electronic fart. That's a feeding buzz. That's how they know that some of them eat 3,000 in a night, because someone's counted the feeding them buzzes. If you put your back to the trees, you'll see that you get as much open sky above you as possible to see them. Part of it is they fly next to the trees for a couple of reasons. One is for, well, it's for camouflage. If there's something that's going to attack them, there's going to a predator. Then,
YouTube video.
yeah, but also if there's going to be prey close to the trees. That's why they'll fly close to trees, but also close to buildings, because during the day buildings soak up.
See that?
The buildings soak up all the heat. Then give it out at night, and then that attracts insects.
Oh wait, I've got one. Here.
Well, I've just finished off with a wee bit of hedgehog footage from the garden there for My Wildlife Here, week 39. I'm really pleased that the way this week went. It was really so good to actually be out doing face-to-face stuff with people, and young people and older people and just people. It was, I've missed them. Yes. So it was yeah, a really good week for me. Just very busy, lots of driving, and you know, but it was just so nice to be able to be sharing in person some of my wildlife experiences. So onwards and upwards. So that's it for my wildlife year, week 39. Hopefully it won't be that long to wait for week 40 video. So yes, so stay safe and keep enjoying the wildlife.